Republicans say the formal inquiry greatly expands their ability to conduct interviews and access documents in their investigation of the president, arguing that the evidence they've already uncovered cannot be ignored. President Biden, surprise, surprise, he disagrees, slamming the GOP over the proceedings. Quote, they are choosing to waste time on this baseless political stunt that even Republicans in Congress admit is not supported by facts.
They can't.
And now Democrats and the media are rushing to his defense. Check out these headlines. Here's Reuters claiming that House Republicans authorized the impeachment inquiry despite a lack of evidence. Over to the New York Times, describing the whole thing as a hunt for an offense. Meanwhile, Al Jazeera is flat out writing that Republicans have no evidence. I seem to remember different headlines in a past administration. And they are far from the only ones running for cover.
They can't find a scintilla of evidence to justify this impeachment inquiry. It is happening because the puppet master in chief, the former twice impeached so-called president of the United States of America, has ordered them to launch this impeachment inquiry as a political hit job on President Joe Biden.
House Republicans have been investigating whether President Biden has committed any impeachable offenses or crimes related to his son Hunter's foreign business dealings, but they've been doing this for months and have so far found no hard evidence linking the two.
House Republicans are set to vote to formalize an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, even though some admit there's no evidence of wrongdoing. They claim that the president has abused his power in order to benefit his family, but nearly a year of investigations have so far come up empty.
A months-long investigation has not found evidence of wrongdoing by the president, and the White House denies that there is any.
Basically, they're basing an impeachment inquiry on something the president's son did. I do think this is an ordered hit from Donald Trump, who wants to portray equivalence. They went after me, we're going after him. He wants to muddy the waters.
Okay, so Shannon, Republicans are just taking orders. I do not think Republicans in districts that Biden won, who are vulnerable, who have spoken out against the former president, are then taking orders from the former president here. They made this vote possible. Also, on this no evidence point, House Speaker Mike Johnson, he had put it as succinctly as possible. 15 million flowed to the Biden family from countries like Russia and China. 22 times President Biden talked to his son's business associates. 16 times Biden lied to the American people, and we have the checks. This at least raises questions of an inquiry. Even Mike Johnson says, I'm not saying impeachment, we're there yet, but an inquiry, certainly.
Yeah, and so they've gone forward with the vote. That's the procedure. That's what they have to do if they're going to go make this case. What the White House needs to do is realize they got to make their case to the American people as well, because our recent Fox News polling shows this. When people were asked what they think about Hunter's business dealings and the president's possible involvement with that, they think, did the president do something illegal? 40% said they think something illegal happened with Hunter's business that Joe knew about, or that unethical, 29%. That gives you 69% of the people who were polled think something is not right with the president's involvement with his own son. Now, if you don't want a Fox poll, there's another one. NPR, PBS, Marist poll also shows that 49% now support an impeachment inquiry. 48% don't. That's a flip from just last month. So people, the more that they're hearing, the more skeptical they are and think maybe there's a need for an investigation.
There's no doubt. And the media running cover also in little doubt there. This was Hunter Biden yesterday. He used a word, we talked about it, financial involvement. Listen to the word financially here.
Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business.
So he stated that clearly. He said, let me be clear, Emily. Well, it wasn't clear enough for Luke Broadwater at the New York Times, who at 9:46 a.m. post this. Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not involved in my business. They omitted a word financially. They updated it at 12:11 p.m. Eastern time. This is the publication that won Pulitzers for Russian collusion.
Well, that's just sort of self-awarding, right? They can exist in their own petri dish. That is disheartening, but not surprising. And I just feel sad for everyone who actually relies on them for the truth. The problem, however, is that that narrative and that whitewashing of things actually does impact people who think that they are formidable truth sayers. Now, I feel if Hunter has nothing to hide, and if he's so clearly stating my father has no financial interest in my business dealings, I paraphrase, why didn't you say it then in the deposition? Why are people so quick to absolve him of his duty to comply with a subpoena under his father's administration, by the way? If he has nothing to hide, what's the harm in sitting down? Now, that's being very generous because we know that there is more facts, more pieces of evidence already laid out there that point towards certainly cause for pause, let alone actual culpability. And I have to point out that during Trump's first impeachment trial, as you recall, Democrats insisted that closed-door testimony was, quote, critical to the process. So where are they now? All of them saying that it's simply a Republican sham and a Republican circus. And also, when President Trump's team started refusing to cooperate and various folks began defying those subpoenas, recall Adam Schiff at the time said that that would be considered obstruction and it would be considered additional evidence of the wrongfulness of the president's underlying misconduct. So is his show of defiance yesterday then additional evidence of misconduct? It is so patently absurd to see the two ways that Americans are treated here, or should I say, depending on your political party leading, or more apropos, your last name.
You know, you mentioned Trump's first impeachment. We have a pretty apropos comparison, Kennedy. This is Washington Post editorial board. Here they go. This was prior to yesterday's stunt by Hunter. The Hunter Biden indictment is sound. The Joe Biden impeachment inquiry is not. Now hop on over to Trump's first impeachment, the one he called the perfect phone call with Ukraine. Here it is, why the House's impeachment of Trump was proper and necessary.
What I'm gathering is from the leftist media and from a lot of Democrats who are disseminating the talking point that this whole thing is at the behest of former President Donald Trump while offering no evidence of their own. It's very interesting here because they claim that they don't like this impeachment process. They don't like the impeachment inquiry, but they started this whole thing. You made impeachment so easy. You made it so garden variety. And this is the climate that you have created.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.